Well, hey, and good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Always excited to be with you and share the news, man. The left is losing its mind. Not only are they losing their mind, but more importantly, people, they're losing the narrative. And I'm going to show you today why I can say that so confidently. They are in disarray. It's panic. It's all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you what I mean here. Now, really quickly, if you would do a favor for me, smash the like as you come in and also just chat it up with where you're from. I see Texas on, Clearwater, Florida, La Crescent, Minnesota. Beautiful, beautiful community down in southeastern Minnesota. I'm sorry. Anyways, I see Florida, land of the free down there. But we've got the Fauci-Psaki confusion. I'm going to show you that. We're also going to show you Twitter's response that basically addresses what I talked about yesterday in my Twitter video, if you didn't see. But basically, and now the Biden regime is setting up the disinformation board on top of that. This is going to be pretty quick, pretty fast. But we've also got some huge wins I want to share with you and some very, very troubling economic warning signs. Stick with me through this. I'm going to move fast. I'm going to start by sharing a video from Fox News. I'm going to get into another report with trucking that's going to further show you how this problem is being exacerbated. But I want you to know this is going to be bad news. Okay, this part of it is going to be bad news. Hold your chin up. Hope is coming. I am telling you, hope is coming. All this bad news is going to lead us to the eventual good news, not only on this show, but I'm talking in general here with what's going on. Again, please share this stream out if you would. Share it to some different social media platforms. If you're on Facebook, you can share it there. I hardly use that thing anymore. Anyways, I love you all. Real quickly, though, I do want to mention my sponsor, MyPillow. That's right, MyPillow, promo code Lumberjack. Save you up to 66%. They even have tall sizes in the sleepwear. This stuff is like so super soft. You're gonna love it. And I love the travel pillow. I take it with me when I go to the Boundary Waters, when I go elk hunting, and the Giza sheets. I keep talking about those, but I can't stop talking about those Giza sheets. Give them to a liberal. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. I'm gonna share this video with you first. I'll probably interrupt it, but you're gonna see. Well, the economic numbers are so abysmal, people. Here's what you need to understand. Not only are our economic numbers abysmal, but China's actually aren't that bad. It appears that the Chinese payoff to the Biden regime is working for them right now, but it will not work long term. I'm going to show you that. Okay. So please don't get too discouraged with this. All right. I'm going to ask that you not get too discouraged. But to put this in perspective, we're talking about a 1.4% downturn in the economy, in our GDP. Do you realize that if we had 1% growth, that would be abysmal? So to actually have negative growth is beyond abysmal. Okay, so just understand it as you watch this clip. This is Brett Hammer on Fox, and just talking about this. The number's the important thing, but watch. They've got a great clip of Psaki in here I want you to watch as well.
Why wait till tomorrow, right? Fox's alert. Good morning. Our economy is shrinking. This new growth number just out is worse than expected. Negative 1.4% for GDP, and that is, Ms. Perino, that is no bueno. Good morning, everybody, on a Thursday. I'm Bill Hemmer. Nice to see you, and nice to see you also.
Oh, thank you. I'm Dana Perino. This is America's Newsroom, and the number always comes out. We knew it was going to be not good, but this one I think is actually even shocking some people here.
Below the floor, really. A lot of headwinds out there, inflation and gas prices, Ukraine, supply chain, COVID concerns out of China, on and on it goes. Edward Lawrence is the breakdown for the North Lawn. Edward, good morning. Let's begin there. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. And that all plays into it. You know, the White House actually, Bill, knew that this was going to be a very bad number. In fact, yesterday, I had a White House official call me wanting to talk about this number today. Now, I don't think they expected it would be a negative number, but what they were saying is the economy is now in a transition. That's the White House feeling, a transition from the reopening phase to a long-term sustainable growth phase.
Okay, so I just want you to catch that. First off, check the messaging. Somebody from the White House is calling them, they're trying to control the message, and now they're talking about, oh, this is a phase. Just remember, they said inflation was transitory. Have you been to the grocery store? Of course you have. It is well beyond transitory at this point. We've seen increasing inflation in whether it's used vehicle prices, whether it's fuel, whether it's whatever, okay? And the only reason oil is taking a slump back right now is because China is on hard lockdown and is not utilizing the fuel. Okay, so just understand how bad this is, how they're trying to control the message. I just want you to catch that as you watch through this, because you're going to see Jen Psaki next, and I want you to really pay attention to what she says.
Is the way it's being described, but there's no denying that that is a bad number. 2 negative numbers for 2 quarters in a row. That's technically a recession. Now, no one's talking about that yet here at the White House, but White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, though, yesterday did address this and tried to put a spin on what this number would be. Listen to this.
If we look at it over time, which is how we look at data, and looking under the hood, the slowdown relative to Q4 is mainly for technical reasons like the change in inventory. So last quarter, companies built up their inventories very quickly, and growth in inventories are expected to be slower, though still positive, this quarter.
Okay, I need to stop right now. We're going to continue on with this, but I need to ask you in the chat right now, okay? Because I think I know a lot of people are experiencing hard times. I want to know in the chat, are you not spending as much because you're not able to find it? Or are you not spending as much because of economic concerns? Please answer that in the chat. I want to see, we're going to do like a real-time live polling on this. Okay, why is it you think this economy is going down? Why is your personal economy going down? Is it because you just can't find this stuff, it's supply chain issues and you just can't find it? Or is it because you are concerned about the economy and you are trying to set aside for a rainy day? Okay. Economic concerns. Look at this. Spending less, economic concerns, economic concerns, economic concerns. Jen Psaki is full of what, okay? Funds, concerns. I haven't seen another one. Don't have anything to spend, economic concerns, on and on. Look at this. Okay, for example, look at this, economic concerns. See, and to Greg's point, yeah, there's stockpiles in some warehouse. I'm going to show you another thing that's going to totally refute this. But I'm going to let this play first. You guys got to see this next report because it's going to blow your mind. Okay. Right? Because there's indicators that always lead. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. Concerns, economic concerns. Look at this. She is full of crap. Okay. So anyways, we all know that though, right? Yeah. All right. I did put up my, hey, coffee's consumable. We all need coffee to get through this. RevereCoffeeCompany.com. The banner's up there. All right. Promo code Lumberjack. All right. Here we go. Back to this video.
So, and that's what happened. Big inventories, consumer expenditures were up, Bill. So that's kind of where this number happened.
We're just going to poke at a few things here. It's just out. I know it's fresh. When you go into the numbers, what's the greatest headwind that you see there?
Yeah, it's actually going to be the expenditures by people. So you're looking at what people are having to pay for things and will they make that payment. So you're seeing home sales were actually down 1.2% in March. That was a little bit of a shock, a contraction there. When you talk about buying less homes or fewer people buying homes, that has a ripple effect because they're not buying refrigerators for those homes. They're not buying wood for those homes for decks. They're not buying all the products that goes with that. Retail sales also, the number in February month over month was 0.8%, but then it's expected to go down in March.
Look, home sales are going to continue to fall. People, we've seen the peak of the housing market. This is like 2008 all over again. Let me ask you a question. Okay, mortgage rates have more than doubled. Okay, I know plenty of people in the banking industry. I do a lot of work for banks in my marketing business. And here's the thing. Banks are in trouble because the banks have to buy money. They buy money. Okay. And so they buy money and then they invest that money, okay, into like, say, bonds. Okay. Those bonds, they've been playing short-term bonds to get higher yields that are more in line with their ability to offer out the low interest rates. So here's the problem. They are in a short game that's now cycling into a long game, and they're in trouble. If that made sense to all of you, I hope it did. But the bottom line is housing market is going to slow down even more. And I can't even believe that would be a shocker to these people. That just blows my mind. Okay. And the cost of construction, are you kidding me? Anyways.
5%. So you're seeing a slowdown in the economy here. And that's the real issue as to whether we're going to hit a recession or not hit a recession, because consumer spending is 70% of the economy.
And Edward, that was actually similar to the question I was going to have, which is, so consumer spending, that some of the folks on Twitter, of course, their initial reaction was, well, that's bad, but consumer spending is really good. But people, for the money that they have, that they get every month in their paycheck, they're able to buy less than they were before. So how does that square?
Yeah, and that's the big problem, is that month over month, year over year, people are actually seeing less in their bank account, and they're having to make these choices. Hey, am I going to go out and buy a new car? Am I going to go out and buy that toy or for my children, or buy that vacation that I want to go to? And all of this has a ripple effect in the economy, and this is what the White House is concerned about. Now, the White House is not forecasting recession, but they're saying there will be risks. They said there are.
They don't have to forecast a recession. These morons, didn't you get the first? We've had 2 quarters of negative growth. We're already in it. I don't care what the White House forecasts. We're already in negative growth. We are in 2 quarters of negative growth. We are in recession. These morons, you know what? We don't care what the White House forecasts. We know what reality is.
Risks to a recession, but their baseline forecast is not that. As you know, you think you reported yesterday, Deutsche Bank is saying they're looking at a major recession next year for the U.S. economy. Other banks are starting to talk about that R word. So that's a real concern for the White House going forward, especially into November.
For the next 3 months, though, I mean, this will be the talk, Edward, right? I mean, 2 straight quarters of negative growth equates to a recession as defined.
Exactly.
So that's something we're going to watch. Thank you so much. Northwest.
So see, there's the thing. It doesn't even matter, again, what the White House says. It's what's actually reality, okay? Reality is that we're already in it. And then they want to say, oh, hey, Pete Buttigieg comes out with that idea. If you guys remember that like a month ago, well, gas prices are up. That's why people just need to go buy an electric car. Are you kidding me? Like, people can't afford to buy their food. They're going to go out and buy an $85,000 electric car. It's just a lack of reality. But here's the thing. This is what the good news is, people. This is why it's so good. Because all of this is leading to their demise. You are going to see a wipeout in 2022 of cataclysmic proportions. We have already seen real grassroots conservative candidates winning in the primaries. Michigan was a sweep. We had another one out in California just recently, and so on. Doug Mastriano is leading strong in the governor's race out there in Pennsylvania right now on the Republican side. Bartlett is coming up strong. Okay, so we just have to make sure when you're in those states, especially those key ones. But, I've got such a big win out of New York I got to get to, but I want to finish this economic stuff first. Okay, you guys need to see this. Okay, to further, and again, I don't want to, this isn't like to be bad news. I'm not trying, but this is reality right now. Analysis: U.S. trucking downturn foreshadows possible economic gloom. Craig Fuller monitors millions of transactions between U.S. truckers and their customers as chief executive of transportation data company FreightWaves, and he does not like what he is seeing. By the way, I'm going to read through this really fast, just so you know. I've got a live at 2:00 Central Standard Time today. You do not want to miss it, please. It's an interview with an author. You have got to hear this. We're talking culture war, and he writes well, and it is so good. I'm telling you, you got to see this one. But let me get back to this. There has been an unexpectedly sharp downturn in demand to truck everything from food to furniture since the beginning of March, and rates in the overheated segment that deals in on-demand trucking jobs, okay, known as the spot market, are skidding. So these on-demand trucking jobs, that's when they're like, okay, I need a truck now. They'll even not wait to fill the truck because the rates are so good. The truckers are just trucking. The economy is humming. And quite frankly, they're paying too much to get stuff trucked. So we should actually see a little bit of relief as that tightens up again. Okay, so that's a good news piece out of this. But the reality is that this signals a very, very troubling forecast for the economy as a whole. It's basically just drop off a cliff, said Fuller, who is concerned that the United States is at the start of a trucking recession that could decimate truckers' ability to dictate prices and push small trucking firms into bankruptcy, which may be, again, part of the idea behind all that. This is out of Yahoo News from Reuters. I was going to do a whole video on this at one point, but I just didn't have time to. So just so you can see that, I'll post a link to it. I'm not going to go on about it because I've got too much other news to cover. But if you guys want to follow up and read more of that, just understand, I mean, if we're not moving goods, that is the greatest indicator, okay? So now, I told you that they're off message, that they're really having troubles. And so I'm going to, by the way, I got to share another thing on the economic issue. I want to show you what the Democrats' new plan to solve these problems are. This from none other than Chuck Schumer, who's maybe the biggest idiot, but a complete political animal. Watch this.
To get rid of inflation, the only way to do it is to undo a lot of the Trump tax cuts and raise rates. No Republican is ever going to do that. So the only way to get rid of inflation is through reconciliation.
Okay. Do you guys get this? So we're going to get rid of recession by increasing taxes. Just let me say it again. Just sit on that one. We're going to get rid of inflation. We're going to get rid of our bad economy by raising taxes. Now, I just said I did this whole, you guys witnessed it, okay? I could go back to that, but I asked you people the question, and you're not buying because you can't afford it and economic concerns. How would increasing your taxes help that? Okay. This is crazy. I'm going to show you how they're way off message, though, how they're losing their message. I'm sure some of you guys saw this clip from, well, our good friend, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here we go.
Fauci, let me broaden this out and ask you, here we are, it's the end of April, it's the spring of 2022. How close are we to the end of this pandemic?
Well, that's an unanswerable question for the following reason. And I don't want to be evasive about it, but let me tell you why I'm giving you that answer, Judy. We are certainly right now in this country out of the pandemic phase. Namely, we don't have 900,000 new infections a day and tens and tens and tens of thousands of hospitalizations and thousands of deaths. We are at a low level right now. So if you're saying, are we out of the pandemic phase in this country? We are. What we hope to do, I don't believe, and I've spoken about this widely, we're not going to eradicate this virus. If we can keep that level very low and intermittently vaccinate people, and I don't know how often that would have to be, Judy, that might be every year, that might be longer, in order to keep that level low. But right now, we are not in the pandemic phase in this country. Pandemic means a widespread throughout the world infection that spreads rapidly among people. So if you look at the global situation, there's no doubt this pandemic is still ongoing.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy. Good to be with you.
Okay, so you see there, okay, he says we're out of it. I'm going to just play another clip by him. Look, this stream has already been demonetized. I just checked. It says limited monetization, yellow thing again. So, hey, I'll just real quickly, Revere Coffee Company, couple orders of this solves the monetization issue. Okay. So thank you for those of you who've supported the sponsors, because to be frank, it's the only reason I can go on doing this, because it does take a lot of time and it costs me time in my business. So, but I love doing this for you. I do. And so long as you guys like it and continue supporting the sponsors or supporting me in other ways, like through locals and whatever, I will keep doing this. Okay. So long as you want it there. This is I guess in some ways it's independent journalism, and it's a good thing that it's supported by you and not these nut jobs who want to demonetize everything I do. It's ridiculous. I mean, I didn't say anything that was against their terms of service in this. It's really, anyway, sorry, I'm just getting worked up, but because I get ticked off about it every once in a while. I'm sorry, and I shouldn't really gripe about it too much. But I mean, honestly, do you guys see any reason why they say ad suitability? We've been talking about the economy. Anyways, I'm gonna show this other clip, another interview with our friend Dr. Fauci.
Good enough for scientists to say, I'm just apolitical, I can stand aside from the science?
Well, we should be apolitical, and that's what we, and I certainly have tried to be, but unfortunately, when you get totally politically motivated inaccuracies get thrown into the picture, like the claims that interventions worked when there was no indication whatsoever that they worked, none at all. And it was taken as one person's word is as good as another. Well, when you're dealing with science, one person's word is not as good as another.
I'll say something. I don't want to be too controversial. I actually believe what he said there. I totally believe it. One person's word is not as good as another. I 100% agree with that. We may disagree on other aspects of that, but I totally agree with him there. Now, watch this. Watch the uproar. That's why I tell you they're in disarray. You can always tell the left is losing when they are completely reacting and in disarray. So watch this.
Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Fauci said on the PBS NewsHour last night, quote, "This country is out of the pandemic phase of COVID." What phase are we in right now? And also, if we are out of the pandemic phase, why are emergency measures still in place?
Well, what Dr. Fauci was saying is that we are in a different phase of this pandemic, and that's absolutely true. Last month, the president announced a plan for how we can move forward safely while staying on our front foot against COVID. As he pointed out, nationwide cases are relatively low, far below the 900,000 cases a day we saw during the Omicron surge. Even as we've seen upticks, hospitalizations are at about the lowest level since the pandemic, and deaths are declining. So there's no question that we're in a different moment in our fight against COVID. But we also know COVID isn't over, and the pandemic isn't over.
When will it be? Just tell us when it will be. According to you, when will it be? I just want to know when it will be. It's a fair question. When will it be? When will it be? Okay. Come on. Do you know? Now, guys, I'm going to give you a bit. I got to give you a win because I'm getting so sick of these people. Here, I got it on my phone here. This is a big one. A very big one. New York's highest court has just struck down the Democrat redistricting map. People, I cannot overstate what a blow this is to Democrats in the state of New York. The Supreme Court has just struck down the Democrats' redistricting map. We get the redistricting map approved in Florida that the Dems are all upset about. It is struck, the Democrats, the ones they want, is struck down in New York. It will delay, get this, the primary election to allow the legislature to redesign maps so Republicans have a better chance at winning New York House seats. Did you guys just catch what I just said? I mean, I want to see some hand claps. This is exciting. Yeah, God works in mysterious ways. Okay, like people running around, I don't trust Elon Musk. Don't trust him. I don't either. I'm excited about what's going on and watching the meltdown over there. And I'll allow the guy to prove me right or wrong. Okay, there is no chance of an appeal to the federal court as SCOTUS has restricted the federal courts from intervening. Okay. I had told you people, I don't know. I know the number. People say you pull it out of your butt or whatever, 100 seats. I am telling you, we may see a super majority in the House. And we are going to definitely be picking up Senate seats no matter what the Democrats say. And you wonder, well, why did the Democrats raise so much money first quarter? How is that happening? Did you know that Google is actually censoring out conservatives' emails from reaching the destination? You know, they're going to the junk folder, but the liberal leaning emails are making it through. This is proven. I've got an article on that. I was going to do a show on that, but I can't get all these. There's so much good news and so much bad news and news. There's just news all over. But I am telling you, people, they are losing their minds over everything going on. Antoine, I really want to thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, I posted that up just a little bit ago, but thank you. So this is, I don't see. I wonder if I can share this really quickly. No, it's going to be too hard to share real quick. But I just deleted a comment off my channel. And it was another one of these hopeless comments. And it was in regards to the Elon Musk Twitter video that I did. And they're just like, you know, and the reason I do this, it's not because I'm opposed to free speech and all this. So people, oh, no, you know, see, like a channel, like I can block somebody on Twitter myself personally, but they are not a publisher. Okay. Twitter is what? A platform. It's just supposed to allow things to go out. But I'm so sick of all the negative comments like, we're not just going to lose. We're going to lose. Nothing will ever happen. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy of stupidity. And if you're in that, you need to get out of that thought process, people. Okay? I just had my cow healed by God. I'm not kidding. I mean, like, that cow was so close to death. You got to go watch my video on that. I tell the whole story. I don't want to take all your time talking about that, but we have so many wins to celebrate. We have so many things going right. And I believe the Spirit of the Lord is moving right now. Okay. So just, again, don't negate our wins. All right. In fact, now which one do I want to share next? Here, you want more exposure? Watch this. This is really short.
The Mexican cartels had flown 9,000 drone flights into the United States to surveil law enforcement operations.
The crisis at the border is becoming the Democrats' demise. They think that it's going to propel them to electoral victories for forever because they're going to just, get all these people to vote and everything. It's not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen. It's going to be their demise. Just like it was the very issue that Trump got elected on in 2016 that the most of the Republican Party wanted to run away from. Illegal immigration will be the Democrats' demise. It will not be their great strong tower that they think it will be. Okay, God is your strong tower. Okay, and they're godless. They just cannot stand the things of the Lord. Do not miss my interview at 2:00 today. I got another great one tomorrow at noon with the sheriff of Spokane County, Washington. And there's something called the readout out there. It's going to be fascinating because I've got multiple thoughts on it. And both of these interviews are going to be fantastic. If you really are into learning and understanding how things are taking place and what we need to do to change things. I'm just telling you, they're going to be awesome. Please do smash that like. Let's see. The border is going to be their demise. By the way, big thing you need to be contacting your senators on, and watch this questioning with Josh Hawley in the U.S. Senate over maybe the worst judicial pick of all time. Watch this.
The progressive journalist Alexander Cockburn said,
hold on. It's not at the beginning there.
Let me ask you about the Southern Poverty Law Center more generally. What year did you join SPLC?
February 2021. I'm sorry, 2019.
2019 was the year that the SPLC paid $3.4 million in response to defamation lawsuits. 2019 was the year that Charity Watch gave your organization an F rating. The SPLC has been labeled by the left-wing policy journal Current Affairs as an outright fraud that uses willful deception designed to scare liberals into writing checks. The progressive journalist Alexander Cockburn said this about SPLC: I regard it, the Southern Poverty Law Center, collectively as one of the greatest frauds in American life. Liberal death penalty abolitionist Stephen Bright refused to accept an award named after the founder of the SPLC, saying in his words, the SPLC has long been run by a con man and a fraud. That's from a Harper's Magazine article. Also in 2019, SPLC employees told the press we were part of a con and we knew it. That's in a New Yorker article, not exactly a right-wing journal. Are you concerned by any of this record of the organization that you work for?
Senator, what I'm glad that I didn't hear in that litany is a complaint about the voting rights work that we've done, about the clients in the community.
Are you concerned that Charity Watch gave you an F, that you had to pay $3.4 million in response to defamation lawsuits, that you've been criticized, your organization's been criticized as a fraud and a con job, and that you work for an organization who says it's their goal in life to completely destroy their opponents? None of that gives you any pause.
Senator, again, my work with the Southern Poverty Law Center has been to uphold the constitutional rights of individuals who, without pro bono counsel, would not be even able to have access to justice.
I have to tell you, I find your answers absolutely extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. I can't believe you've been nominated for this position. I can't believe that the President of the United States would nominate someone from this organization with this record. And I can't believe that you would sit here today and refuse to condemn this hateful, frankly, violent rhetoric from this organization with this record. It's astounding to me.
Okay, two things on that. It sounded like she was trying to remember a script each time. So, like, if you saw her eyes go far away, and it's like she's trying to remember. The lady, she's not even that smart. I mean, why would she even be considered just off brain power alone for a? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I got to share just a couple things with you. I have on my phone here. So let me go back to this real quick, and then we're going to bring this to a close. I've got so much other stuff to go through, but it just happens. I can't get through everything on here. Okay. This one, so true. Build Back Better is 1/4 of negative GDP growth from a recession. Okay. Trump had this economy running like a well-oiled machine. Never forget that those that took America from Trump and gave it to Biden, this was their plan. Okay. Listen to this too. This is something you guys need to understand about Twitter and the whole fiasco going on. You know, they had to lock down some of the source codes because they know that employees inside of Twitter would do bad things. But you guys need to understand that. So when you're buying a company like Twitter, the contract is not like, oh yeah, I'll just give you $44 billion and take this company. It's like, so there's something called due diligence. There's something called preservation of records, all of this stuff. And I've worked at a company where we went through a buyout process and saw all of this take place. Okay. Now, so it can be, somebody posted this. I thought was good. It explains it well. It can be understood like this. When someone buys a company or house or other asset, the seller or the current occupant cannot do, or more to the point, be caught doing things that diminish the value of the purchased asset after their transaction is signed. In the case of Twitter, that would be limiting the influx of a large number of new or reactivated, those are revenue generating accounts, or throttling their engagement. All the smart people at Twitter, it remains to be seen what proportion of people working there fall into that category, know they are liable if they damage the value of the asset at this point. This includes making any changes to the source code that aren't transparently communicated to the purchaser. Okay. So, but there's a whole host of things there. Oh gosh, I'm going to share this. I didn't load this video. I'm so sorry. I want to share this with you too. And I got to turn up my volume here. Okay. Watch this. This is by.
We were talking about on the way over what got me involved in politics. I got involved in politics because I think the greatest sin that anyone can commit is the abuse of power. Whatever that power is, the power of a teacher, the power of a doctor, the power of a leader. When someone who is relying on you.
Abuse of power, people. Now, this is from the same guy, okay, who just nominated this gal, okay, to head their ministry of truth, exactly on the heels of Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. This is not how Mr. 81 million should be acting when he has the support of 81 million. Mr. 81 million. I mean, if you were the most popular of all time, would you be creating a ministry of truth, people? And here, let me give you a couple of quotes from this lady. Okay, check this out. Here it is. Just so you know, I'm not reading some fake stuff. This is one of her tweets. IC has a high degree of confidence that the Kremlin used proxies to push influence narratives, including misleading or unsubstantiated claims about President Biden to U.S. media, officials, and influencers, some close to President Trump. A clear nod to the alleged Hunter Biden laptop, folks. Here again, this is October 22nd, 2020. Back on the laptop from hell. Apparently, Biden notes 50 former national security officials and 5 former CIA heads that believe the laptop is Russian influence op. Trump says Russia, Russia, Russia. This is the gal who can't get the truth, who they want to lead the ministry of truth. People, they are in absolute panic mode. You don't act like this. They are in reaction. They can't coordinate their stories like we saw with Psaki and Fauci. They are in reaction. They're trying to create a ministry of truth to respond to the fact that Elon Musk bought out Twitter and so on. This is what's going on. Okay. By the way, just so you know, this is just news. I offer no commentary on it because that would be bad. My commentary might not be appropriate, so I'm just not going to. I have no opinion. I'm just going to give you this news. Moderna has requested FDA to authorize its jab for emergency use in children under 6. So here you go from Bancel, the CEO of Moderna. We are proud to share that we have initiated our EAU submission for authorization for our mRNA jab for young children. This is just news, people. I'm just trying to give you this stuff real quick here. Okay. Twitter's revenue is down. It was a sinking ship. I got that in here. But, here you go, too. Inflation in Germany jumps to 7.4% in April. That's their false number. What is it really? Also, in light of all of our economic problems, Biden is requesting another $33 billion. Another freaking $33 billion in emergency funding for Ukraine. God. I mean, between the China and the Ukraine payoffs to Biden, they're getting their paybacks. China's getting economic growth while we're in a downturn. And, then they're sending all these emergency funding and weapons over to, I've said before, I'll say again, there is a real situation over there. I don't like the fact that citizens are getting shelled. Okay. Oh, wait. I didn't even see. I threw this up here. Yes, for freedom. At least a person. George. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for that. You made me laugh. Look, people. Oh, that was worth doing that live just for that today. Thank you, George. That's great. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where I was anyway. Oh, German central bank crashed. I don't have that story. I'll have to get that one. Oh my gosh. Thanks. Oh, this is great. All right. I had somewhere I was going with all this, and now he got me way off track. I'm sorry, people. Oh, I got to get this. I've got to this because this is it. I don't know why I didn't get this one over before. I'm going to add a video to the stream and show you something that is imperative that you see right now. It is 4:05. Oh boy, where did it go? Here it is. Watch this. This is good.
And Joe Biden was making an official trip to China on behalf of the United States. And on that plane is Hunter Biden, his son, I assume, going for business dealings. You're telling me that they didn't discuss why Hunter was going to China with his father, a sitting vice president? Why is this important?
Well, it's important because every indication implies that Joe Biden, for whatever reason, is compromised when it comes to China. And what we're learning now is Hunter has been profiting off of shady business dealings in China for years. Now we've learned through this email that Joe Biden, in fact, owed Hunter Biden money, which I can't imagine a worse person in the world to owe money to if you're involved in the government than Hunter Biden. But he also had all these meetings with his partners, and there's just too many questions that would point to conflicts of interest with Joe Biden himself. Now, we already know Hunter Biden is a walking, talking conflict of interest, but we believe that Hunter Biden is a national security threat, and now we have every reason in the world to believe that Joe Biden was, in fact, in business with Hunter Biden.
And now China's economy is up by 4 point some odd percent. We're down 1.4%, people. this, look, if somebody can't see this at this point, by the way, I got to ask you guys to do something. I know I asked this, but you have got to get over to my locals channel. And you have got to see, it's not even my video, but it's pinned there. Lumberjack Logic. You got to see this video. Okay. I think it's the top pinned video. It's one of the top 3 pinned videos. Go over and see it. In fact, go through and just look at the top 8 pinned videos. And I'm telling you, people, there's a lot of stuff that I don't get to cover over here. I'm trying to keep you guys who are over here informed and also give you, the news as best I can. But there's a lot going on out there. So anyways, please support the sponsors. They support the show. Thank you all for joining me. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Okay. I love y'all. All right. Peace out. Make sure you join me at 2:00 today for that other broadcast with the author, and make sure you're on Friday in that interview with the sheriff. There's so much to talk about in that interview. All right. Yeah. Oh, hey, thank you. Let me mention this too, really quickly. Gab. Yeah, you have to deal with stuff over there. But I'm telling you, it is like, it's my firewall. It is my last bastion. It is like the one platform I know that will not sell out. So, all right. Anyways, love y'all. Peace out.